In a quiet village in rural Japan, the sun rises over green rice fields. An 85-year-old man steps outside, stretches his back, and walks calmly to his garden. He kneels down to pull a few weeds, stands back up without groaning, and smiles. His secret? It's not expensive pills or gym routines. It's something he eats every morning. A small bowl, sticky, stringy, smells a little odd. It's natto, fermented soybeans. Packed with plant-based protein, this humble food contains more protein per gram than eggs. But even more surprising, new research from Japan shows natto may help reduce leg swelling in older adults by improving blood flow and fighting inflammation. In this video, we'll uncover how this traditional Japanese food could gently support your body after 60, especially if you struggle with leg pain, poor circulation, or muscle loss. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. What your body needs after 60. After 60, your body begins to change in quiet but noticeable ways. Swollen legs, slower movements, a sense of heaviness in your limbs that wasn't there before. These aren't just signs of getting older. In many cases, they're signs that your body is losing muscle and that your circulation is slowing down. And the quiet cause behind both? Not getting enough of the right kind of protein. Your muscles need protein to stay strong. Your blood vessels need it to stay flexible. Without enough, your legs may swell more easily. Walking gets harder. Even sitting for too long can leave your ankles puffy. Many older adults notice this, but don't realize it's connected to how they eat. The tricky part is, as we age, we absorb protein less efficiently. That means we need more of it, not less. But instead, many people after 60 start eating lighter, less meat, fewer full meals, sometimes because of appetite, sometimes because of chewing, digestion, or just habit. And while red meat and eggs are rich in protein, they can be heavy on aging kidneys. What your body really needs is high-quality, gentle protein, the kind that builds strength without overloading your system. That's why the Japanese way of eating stands out. In Japan, older adults often turn to natto, a fermented soybean dish eaten for generations. It's plant-based, easy to digest, and surprisingly powerful. Per gram, natto has more protein than eggs, but more importantly, it contains a natural enzyme called nattokinase that helps reduce leg swelling by improving blood flow and breaking down tiny clots. In other words, natto doesn't just feed your muscles, it helps your circulation too. Western diets often miss this balance. Enough protein, but in a form the body can use easily after 60. That's what natto offers, and that's why we're exploring it in this video. Because aging isn't about giving up, it's about giving your body what it truly needs to stay steady, strong, and supported. Introducing natto, Japan's sticky superfood. It looks odd, it smells strong, and when you stir it, it forms sticky, stringy threads that stretch like melted cheese. But to millions of older adults in Japan, this strange little food is a quiet miracle on their breakfast table. It's called natto, fermented soybeans. And while it might not look appealing at first, it holds a place of honor in Japanese longevity. For generations, Japanese families have eaten natto in the morning, often mixed with a raw egg, a bit of soy sauce, and chopped green onions, served over warm rice. The taste? Earthy, slightly nutty, and yes, the texture is something you need to get used to. But those who eat it regularly swear by how they feel: lighter, stronger, more energized. What makes natto so powerful? First, its protein content. Natto provides about 18 grams of protein per 100 grams, compared to roughly 13 grams in the same amount of egg. But it's not just about quantity, it's the quality. Being plant-based, it's easier on digestion and the kidneys. Plus, it comes with fiber, which helps with blood sugar, and probiotics from the fermentation, which support gut health. But natto's real magic lies in something few Western foods offer: nattokinase. Nattokinase is a natural enzyme created during fermentation. In Japan, doctors have studied this enzyme for years, and what they've found is remarkable. Nattokinase appears to help break down fibrin, a protein involved in blood clotting. That means it supports healthy blood flow, especially to the legs, feet, and lower body, where circulation tends to slow with age. For someone over 60 dealing with swelling, heaviness, or cold feet, this matters. One Japanese study showed that daily natto consumption helped improve circulation and reduce swelling in older adults within a matter of weeks. And then there's the cultural side. In Okinawa, home to some of the world's oldest living people, it's not unusual to find a 90-year-old waking up at 6 a.m., opening a fresh pack of natto and slowly mixing it before breakfast. Not rushing, not skipping meals, just sitting down to nourish the body with something small but deeply supportive. A woman named Mitsuko, 87, from Nagano, shared in an interview, "I don't eat natto because it tastes good. I eat it because my legs feel lighter when I do." That's the spirit of Japanese aging, not chasing youth, but listening to the body, honoring simple routines, choosing foods that may not be exciting, but that offer steady, reliable support. You don't need to be Japanese to try natto. You just need curiosity and maybe a little courage, because inside that sticky bowl is more than protein. It's tradition, science, and a quiet kind of care for your body that doesn't come in a bottle. How natto helps reduce leg swelling. You're over 60 and your legs often feel swollen, tight, or heavy by the end of the day. You're not alone. This discomfort is incredibly common. It's not always painful, but it's tiring. You sit down and notice the marks your socks leave. Your shoes feel tighter than they did in the morning. Climbing stairs becomes just a bit more effort. So what's really happening? As we age, our circulation naturally slows. Blood has a harder time flowing back up from the legs to the heart. Gravity pulls fluid down, and if the blood vessels are weak or the blood too thick, swelling begins. In medical terms, it's called venous insufficiency, but in everyday life, it just feels like your legs are betraying you. This is where natto becomes more than just a strange food. Natto contains a powerful enzyme called nattokinase, which has been studied in Japan for its natural ability to support circulation. Think of it as a gentle, plant-based helper that cleans the bloodstream. When you eat natto, nattokinase enters your system and helps break down fibrin, a protein that causes blood to clot and thicken. Too much fibrin can slow blood flow and lead to tiny clogs in small vessels, especially in the legs, but nattokinase helps dissolve these clots before they cause trouble. It keeps blood moving more freely, which means less fluid builds up in the lower body. One Japanese clinical trial found that taking nattokinase daily significantly improved leg circulation in adults over 60, reducing swelling, improving walking comfort, and even helping with cold extremities. It worked gently, without the harsh side effects of some medications. But here's what makes natto special. It's not just a supplement. It's a food. That means you're not just supporting your circulation, you're also feeding your muscles, your gut, and your bones all at once. A single bowl offers protein, fiber, probiotics, and circulation support in one bite. Let's bring this down to daily life. Imagine you've just returned from the grocery store. You've been on your feet for over an hour. You sit down and feel your ankles throb slightly. It's not terrible, but it's uncomfortable. This kind of swelling doesn't need a prescription. It needs daily, gentle support. And that support can come from a small, morning habit, like eating natto with breakfast. You don't need to feel helpless when your legs feel heavy. You don't need to accept swelling as a part of aging. Your body is still responding. It's still listening. And it will thank you for every small act of care, especially the ones that support it from the inside out. Natto and digestive health up to 60. At some point after 60, digestion often becomes quieter, but not in a good way. You might feel full too quickly, or notice bloating, constipation, or just a general heaviness after meals. It's not always dramatic, but over time, it affects how much energy you have, how well you sleep, and how easily you move. The truth is, your gut is aging too. The muscles in your digestive tract slow down. Your body produces fewer digestive enzymes. Even your gut bacteria, the helpful microbes that support immunity and mood, begin to change. That's why what you eat matters more than ever. And that's where natto quietly shines again. Unlike most protein-rich foods, natto is fermented. That means it's already partially digested by healthy bacteria before it reaches your stomach. This makes it easier to break down and absorb, ideal for aging digestive systems. But more importantly, natto brings probiotics, living, beneficial bacteria that help balance your gut microbiome. These friendly microbes support regular bowel movements, reduce inflammation in the gut lining, and improve nutrient absorption. If you've been dealing with irregular digestion, gas, or constipation, natto may help bring back that gentle rhythm your body once knew. Japanese elders often talk about food not in terms of flavor, but in terms of how it sits in the body. Natto is seen as a food that settles well, that doesn't disturb. And when your gut feels calm, your whole body responds with more lightness and ease. One quiet but telling example. A retired teacher in Osaka, age 82, had struggled with chronic constipation for years. Her doctor advised fiber supplements, water, even gentle laxatives, but nothing brought lasting comfort, until she began eating natto with breakfast. Within a few weeks, her digestion felt steady again, as she described it. Nothing extreme, just a return to normal. This isn't just anecdotal. Research shows that fermented soy foods like natto can increase levels of bifidobacteria in the gut, bacteria linked to lower inflammation, better immunity, and improved bowel regularity in older adults. And there's more. The fiber in natto feeds your existing good bacteria, helping them grow stronger. This means natto works on both sides, bringing new probiotics in and feeding the ones already in your system. Digestive comfort might not sound exciting, but when you wake up without bloating, eat without heaviness, and rest without discomfort, it feels like freedom. It means your body is absorbing what you feed it. It means your energy flows better. And it starts, again, with something as simple as a small bowl of sticky beans. How the Japanese enjoy natto in daily life. In Japan, natto isn't treated like a supplement or a superfood trend. It's just breakfast. Every morning, Across thousands of homes, you'll hear the soft tear of a natto pack opening. A spoon stirs the sticky soybeans until thin threads form. Then it's poured over warm rice, topped with a raw egg yolk, a splash of soy sauce, and maybe a bit of chopped scallion. Simple, humble, nourishing. This quiet routine isn't about flavor alone. It's about starting the day with intention. Natto is part of a broader philosophy in Japan known as shokuiku, a word that means food education, but goes deeper. It's the belief that eating isn't just about nutrition. It's about care, mindfulness, and lifelong well-being. In Japanese homes, especially among elders, eating natto is not rushed. It's a moment of stillness. The television is off. The room is quiet. Food is respected, not just consumed. Even in small apartments in Tokyo, breakfast can feel almost ceremonial. And this matters, because how we eat affects how our bodies receive the food. Natto pairs naturally with other gentle, nourishing foods. A bowl of steamed white rice, soft and easy to digest. A cup of miso soup, warm and rich in probiotics. Lightly pickled vegetables to aid digestion. A bit of grilled fish or seaweed for minerals. Nothing heavy, nothing complicated, just balance. For someone in the US who's never tried natto, this might sound distant. But it's more accessible than you think. You can find frozen or refrigerated natto in many Asian grocery stores. It often comes in small packs, complete with mustard and soy sauce packets. Some varieties are milder in smell, perfect for first-timers, and you don't need to eat it the traditional way. Here are a few gentle, American-friendly ideas to try. Mix natto into warm oatmeal with a soft-boiled egg and a dash of tamari. Add it to a salad with avocado, shredded carrots, and a lemon-ginger dressing. Wrap it in a sheet of roasted seaweed with rice for a bite-sized snack. Blend it into brown rice bowls with steamed greens and tofu. The key is to start small. Even 2 or 3 spoonfuls a day can begin to support your body's strength, digestion, and circulation. One 90-year-old man in Kyoto put it simply, "I've eaten natto every day since I was a boy. Not because I had to, but because it made me feel calm, steady, and clear." And that's what natto offers. Not excitement, but steadiness. Not bold flavors, but quiet support. It's not a quick fix, it's a quiet habit. And in a world of noise, that might be exactly what your body is asking for. Is natto right for Americans over 60? Let's be honest. Natto can be intimidating. It's sticky, stringy, and smells like something between aged cheese and soy sauce. For many Americans, especially if you didn't grow up with fermented foods, your first reaction might be hesitation, or even a polite no thank you, and that's completely okay. Trying natto doesn't mean you have to enjoy it right away. In fact, even in Japan, many people say they had to grow into the taste. But here's the key. You don't have to love it to benefit from it. You just have to find your way into it, gently, gradually, and with curiosity. So, is natto right for Americans over 60? Yes, especially if you're looking for a natural, food-based way to support muscle strength, reduce leg swelling, and improve digestion. But only if you approach it in a way that respects your own comfort. Let's start with small, realistic steps. First, try freezing natto before eating. This slightly reduces the strong smell and makes the texture firmer. It's how some Japanese elders prepare it in the summer months. Let it thaw overnight in the fridge and enjoy it chilled. Next, consider pairing it with familiar foods. A bowl of rice, a scrambled egg, a slice of avocado, or even a bit of sauerkraut can help balance the texture and flavor. Mixing natto into warm buttery grits or a soft-boiled egg bowl is another surprisingly smooth entry point. Still not ready for the taste? That's okay too. You can still benefit from the power of natto through nattokinase supplements, widely available in capsule form. They contain the same circulation-supporting enzyme without the smell or texture. But remember, supplements don't offer the fiber, probiotics, or full nutritional value of whole natto. Another tip: try different brands. Some natto has a milder taste, depending on how long it's fermented or whether it includes additives like mustard or soy sauce. Visit an Asian grocery store and ask for mild natto. You might be surprised at how different one brand feels from another. And most importantly, don't pressure yourself. This isn't about becoming Japanese or giving up your favorite foods. It's about exploring a simple tool that might help your body feel lighter, stronger, and more balanced. Even 2 or 3 spoonfuls a few times a week can make a difference over time. In fact, some older Americans who now eat natto regularly say they started out disliking it, but stuck with it because of how it made them feel. One woman, age 72, described it this way: "I didn't like the texture at first, but 3 weeks in, I noticed my ankles weren't swelling at night. That was enough to keep me going." Natto isn't magic. It's just real food with real benefits. And like most things in life, the hardest part is the first step. So, would you be willing to try it? Living slowly, eating simply. Lessons from Japan's elders. In Japan, health isn't just about what you eat. It's about how you live. Step into the home of a Japanese elder, and you'll notice something right away. The pace is slow. The space is quiet. Meals are small but thoughtful. The TV is off. The food is warm, not hot. Tea is poured gently, not rushed. Everything feels intentional. It's not because they're trying to be healthy. It's simply their way of life. And at the center of that life, simplicity. Many elders in Japan follow a principle known as harahachi bu, a gentle reminder to eat until you're 80% full. It's not a rule, just a habit. One that keeps the body light, digestion easy, and energy steady. They eat slowly, chew mindfully, and never overfill their plate. In this rhythm, foods like natto aren't a miracle. They're just part of the daily flow. They fit naturally into the way the body is treated, with respect, not urgency. That's a powerful contrast to the fast pace of life in many Western cultures. Here, meals are often quick, distracted, or skipped altogether. We eat not when we're calm, but when we're stressed. We eat to fix hunger instead of supporting the body. But the Japanese elders remind us, food isn't fuel, it's care. At 92, a woman in rural Shikoku wakes at sunrise. She sweeps her porch, makes miso soup, opens a fresh pack of natto. No rush, no noise, just a small moment of stillness. She says she doesn't eat natto because it's healthy. She eats it because it helps her feel light on her feet. She walks slowly but steadily. She doesn't count calories. She just listens. What if we did the same? You don't need to adopt every Japanese habit, but you can borrow the spirit of it. Try slowing down at breakfast. Chew a little longer. Sit without your phone. Give your body food that makes you feel clear, not just full. Start with something simple. A bowl of natto, a handful of greens, warm rice, and a quiet moment to enjoy it. Not because it's trendy, but because it's yours. When you live this way, even just once a day, you begin to feel differently. Your body becomes less of a burden and more of a partner. You begin to trust it again. That's what the Japanese elders teach us. It's not about resisting aging. It's about respecting it. It's not about chasing youth. It's about honoring what your body still can do. And often, that begins with the way you eat and how gently you treat yourself. You don't need to change everything. You don't need to move to Japan. You don't need to love sticky beans. You don't even need to eat natto every day. But what if, just once this week, you sat down in the morning and gave your body something small, quiet, and healing? What if you tried natto? Not for the taste, but for the way it might make your legs feel lighter, your stomach calmer, your heart just a little stronger. This isn't about adding one more rule to your life. It's about discovering what helps you feel more at home in your body. And sometimes that begins with a bowl of sticky soybeans and a deep breath before the first bite. So if you try natto this week, what will you pair it with? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you make this food your own. And remember, the health information in this video is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. If you have concerns about your health, please consult your doctor or healthcare provider. If you believe you are experiencing a medical emergency, contact your doctor or call emergency services immediately.